Go ahead, Brian.
Thank you very much. Hi, Kirby. Thanks a lot for doing this.
Yeah.
My question is about the direct budgetary assistance the U.S. has supplied to Ukraine. President Zelensky recently fired senior leaders in Ukraine over corruption concerns.
Yeah.
Is the U.S. confident that direct budgetary assistance has been used properly in Ukraine?
As you know, that budgetary assistance is directed through the World Bank, and we're confident in that process. We obviously share President Zelensky's concerns over these corruption allegations, and it's apparent that he takes it seriously. That's important. We'll obviously let him work his way through that. But in terms of the budgetary assistance, like I said, goes through the World Bank. We're comfortable with that process.
Any signs of
We have not seen any signs that our budgetary assistance have fallen prey to any kind of corruption in Ukraine, and I would go so far as to say the same on the security assistance side as well. The weapons and the systems that we are obviously working in lockstep with the Ukrainians on accountability measures on that, and see no indication that anything we've sent over has ended up in the wrong hands or has been being used inappropriately.
We're going to jump around.
Thank you very much. Thanks for doing the briefing. For a long time, U.S. military officials had resisted this move to send Abrams tanks, saying that they're difficult to operate, difficult to train people on, and that was essentially what we heard from President Biden today. What changed?
So a couple of things. You're right, we've been completely open and transparent about the sophistication level of the Abrams tank. It's, as the President said, the most capable, powerful tank in the world. And a lot goes into making it the most capable tank. We've been very honest about that. There's training that's needed. There's sophisticated maintenance requirements. There's a supply chain. I mean, it uses a gas turbine engine, basically a jet engine, 1,500 horsepower. So there's a lot that goes into operating these tanks on the field. That said, we've never ruled tanks out. We have been, from the beginning of this war now 11 months ago, been evolving the capabilities what we're providing with Ukraine with the conditions on the ground. And so when you're to get to your specific questions, what's changed? What's changed, Kristen, are the conditions on the ground and the kinds of fighting that the Russians are doing right now, and the kinds of fighting, more importantly, that we believe the Ukrainians are going to need to be capable of in weeks and months ahead, well into 2023, well into this year. And that's why we're doing the combined arms training outside of Ukraine for battalion-sized units. Combined arms maneuver, that's a fancy title, what basically means being able to integrate your ground capabilities, whether that's armor, artillery, even some degree small air defense systems, integrating command and control, logistics, integrating all that to fight on the ground, particularly with open terrain. That's why armored vehicles were so high on the list for the Ukrainians, and tanks are armored vehicles. So this very much just follows right along with the kinds of discussions we've been having with the Ukrainians for months about making sure that they can fight on the terrain that they're in and that they can prepare for operations going forward this year.
And just to follow up, it was part of the calculation, because obviously there had been this robust back and forth between the U.S. and Germany. Is part of this about giving cover to Germany and other European allies to allow them to send in tanks?
I wouldn't use the word cover. What this decision does do is show that how unified we are with our allies and partners, and doing all of this in a coordinated way. So today you saw that Chancellor Scholz announced that they're going to provide immediately a company of Leopard tanks. A company's about 14, and there's 2 companies to a Ukrainian battalion, and he's going to be working with allies and partners to get additional companies of tanks, Leopard tanks, into Ukraine. It's about coordination. It's about the unity here and the resolve that we all have together to help support Ukraine.